Hey, I want to talk to you about something. You got a few minutes? Cool. You know what I want to talk to you about? People that lie when you know they're lying, but they won't stop lying even though they know, and you know, and everybody knows you're lying. Now, why did this come up? I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, right? And I know my weight loss goals, my weight loss journey has taken a little bit of a snag because I was working on a project. And basically, what that entailed was me sitting at a desk behind a computer, not working out and eating crap. So obviously, I'm either going to have not lost that much weight or maybe gain a pound or two, something like that. When I had basically been doing really, really good. Now that project is over. So I'm going to go back to what I was normally doing. But I can't lie to my doctor. My doctor went to medical school. She has been a doctor for a while. I have never been a doctor. So how am I going to lie to the doctor? Because I remember there was a time before, and this is this has nothing to do with me. I was in the doctor's office. Everything was going good with me. There's a guy literally in the doctor's office across the hall. They hadn't closed the door yet, and he was lying to the doctor about what he had done between visits when it was pretty obvious what he was saying was absolutely not the truth. I'm going to leave that there for a second. One of the times I saw somebody lie when they didn't need when it was obvious they were lying, I was hanging out with a buddy of mine, and his girlfriend. He was meeting his girlfriend. He's sitting on one side of the place and he's looking over at her, and her flirting was so obvious he could see it from across the room, and I could see it from across the room. And I had secondhand embarrassment for him because he's right next to me. And I look over and I was about to go, hey, there she is. But he had already noticed her. And he didn't just notice her. He noticed her, if you understand what I'm saying. He noticed so much so that I did one of these. And he did one of those back at me. And then his this turned into this. So he starts to very quickly walk across the room. And I know what that could turn into, right? And there's no reason to attack the guy. The guy was just standing there. She went over to him and flirted with the guy. He doesn't know she has a dude. He just sees a really good looking woman who literally smacked him on his backside and was squeezing his arm. Now, I'm going to jump ahead. As it turned out, she never actually cheated on him in their entire relationship, but she flirted all the time. Now, they're still together. She long since stopped doing that, just to give you some information. Now we're going to go back to that moment, that time. He walks over. I go after him quickly because I'm like, uh-oh, no reason to go to jail over something like this. If you're going to break up with her, break up with her, but don't go and attack the dude. He walks over there, got the look in his face, looking at her, looking at the dude, looking at her, looking at the dude. The dude's looking at him like, and you can see in the guy's face, he realized what was going on. He's like, he had to look on his face as if to say, oh, this is not another lady trying to make her guy jealous by using me, and I'm going to have to wind up getting into a fight. He just goes, I ain't got time for this, and walks away. So I was about to leave because now the fight that I was trying to stop from happening isn't going to happen because the guy left. But I got to be honest with you. I was a little bit nosy. I was trying to hear what they were going to say. Was it my business? Not really, no. Was I going to hear that crap no matter what? You daggone right. And you ever seen a video online where people jokingly pretend like they're mowing the lawn with without a lawnmower so they can hear what some people are talking about? I did whatever the equivalent of that was. Busy work to keep me nearby so I could hear all the juicy information. What are you doing with that guy? I wasn't doing anything. Yeah, you was all up on that dude. You gonna do that when I'm here? Well, what are you doing when I'm not here? I don't know what you're talking about. You gotta stop being so insensitive. You gotta stop being so insecure. I ain't being insecure. I saw it. S saw it. I'm like, oh, now they're drawing attention to me. Huh? What's that? What? And he starts interrogating her. He starts calling out the things he saw from across the room. He starts talking about the fact that she was squeezing the dude's bicep. right? Laughing too hard and touching his chest. The kind of things that women normally do when they're interested in you and trying to get you, but she had already gotten him. So why is she doing stuff to act like she's trying to get the other guy? And he's mad, and justifiably so. Because if he had done the male equivalent of that, she wouldn't have come across the room. Well, she would have come across the room, but whatever she had in her hand would have beat her across the room because she would have thrown something at him. And you smacking that guy on his butt. He had something on his pants. Yeah, your damn hand. I tried not to laugh when he said that because I didn't want to draw attention away from what was going on. But that was kind of funny. And they're having this conversation and it got real serious. So I kind of like, I'm eavesdropping, but let me just get up out of here because I don't even want to eavesdrop on this. I walk across the room back to where I was, and you can see all the hand gestures and pointing and all of that crap. And I knew I was going to find out what happened anyway, but she kept lying. And when you're the third wheel to a couple that's fighting and they're in the front seat and you're in the back seat, right? Cell phones hadn't been weren't something in cell phones, and those little earphones hadn't been invented yet. So you're sitting there with an uncomfortable couple sitting in the front seat and you're sitting in the back seat, and she, every time she opens her mouth, she's lying and he's getting angrier and all that kind of crap. And you realize it's going to be about 24 minutes before they drop me off at my house. This is going to be a very, very long, very, very quiet 24 minutes. If you could see anger, if anger had mass, if anger was a color, it would have looked like fireworks in the front seat because they were not happy at all. When there was 4 minutes left in the trip, she finally confessed and said that she wasn't cheating. And he said, I didn't think you were cheating, but you made me look like a sucker, rubbing another dude's arm and smacking him on the backside. And she said that she was just trying to have fun, but she apologized. And I'm going, oh, I'm like, where's my house? Where's my house? I don't need that. And then they go, well, let's ask S. And I'm like, oh, no, no, I don't need this crap. Why they get me involved in this? Why? S, she looks back at me. What do you think? Yeah, man, what do you think? And I'm like, there's my place right there. I could just jump out the car. Before you go, tell me what you think. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be involved in this. All right. I'll tell you what I think. I said her name. I said, you were flirting with that dude. No, if he had done the same thing, how would you have felt? Well, I would not have been mad. And I said, and I gave her this look. And she goes, yeah, you're right. I said, yeah, he's a pretty good guy, right? Yeah. So why are you flirting? Well, sometimes he doesn't pay enough attention to me. Are you not paying attention to her? Well, sometimes I get involved in my floopty floop. And I said, well, how about you cut your floopty floop time in half? And I'm not blaming you because you were wrong to flirt, but it'd probably help out a lot more if you paid a little more attention. But you still can't be flirting with other dudes, especially like that, right? Everybody sees somebody that they find attractive, but you can't put your hands on them because if a dude did that to you, he would have had to stomp the dude out. You're right. You're right. Okay, now kiss and make up. All right, I'm getting out of the car. You two stop acting like idiots. Right? And as it turns out, everything worked out just fine for them, and she stopped flirting. Not because I said anything, but I mean, she would have came to the realization herself. But of course, I'm a incredible man solving marriages. Anyway, they weren't married yet. They weren't married. They were just boyfriend and girlfriend at the time. But you get the point. But why was she lying when he was looking right at her? I'm going to go back to the doctor for a minute. And like I said, I almost was considering lying to the doctor, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go in him and say, look, doc, I was working on the project. It's completely my fault. I'm not going to blame the project I was working on. Was it really difficult? Did it take a lot of hours? Yes. But I still could have eaten better. I just didn't want to do meal prep because I just wanted to get to working on this project and get it over with. But that's my fault. My fault. Nobody else's. Right? Because that's what you got to do. Don't lie. First of all, like I said, you're not going to fool your doctor anyway. My doctor would have just looked at me like, S. Anthony, really? She would have done that because she's been my doctor long enough. She would have felt comfortable going. She would have hit me with that, right? But I told you there was a guy. It was I talked about it. There was a guy across from me, and the door was open, and he was a big dude. I'm a big dude, and I'm not tall, but I was I'm heavier than I need to be. This guy was pretty heavy too for his frame, right? And he's walking in there, and and they didn't close the door, and he's he's lying to his doctor. You get here, his doctor. Mr. Johnson, we've already discussed the fact that you need to work on, diet and exercise. And, you're not going to get the outcome that you want unless you agree with and implement the plan that I had for you. I'm gonna ask you again. I'm gonna recommend a nutritionist for you to give you some ideas because you're not picking up. I'm trying to help you, but you have to help yourself. And the guy started lying. Hey, Doc, listen, man, I have been working out. Yeah, I work out 6 days a week. I do 45 minutes of cardio on the quadruple track, and I do split sets with quadruple weights and quintuple weights, right? And all I eat salads. You know what I'm saying? I drink diet water with diet ice cubes and stuff like that, right? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I definitely am doing it, and the doctor, you can hear the doctor go, now, how bad do you have to lie to your doctor for your doctor to? Now, keep in mind, there's a hallway between where my doctor is. The door's almost closed. I can hear that door. So the door, it's obviously not closed because the amount of sounds coming out. His doctor went, oh. you, Anytime you say something to somebody that knows you're lying and they go, oh, it's a big lie, right? And he thought he was going to fool the doctor, just like my buddy's girlfriend, who's his wife now, thought she was going to fool him by saying she wasn't flirting. It's obvious what you were doing, and that's what sucks about when people lie, because you just want to go, "We know you're lying. Stop it." Right? You've said that in your head before when somebody's lying right to your face. We know you're lying. Stop it. I'm not even going to say I know you're lying. Stop it. I'm going to say we know you're lying because I'm speaking for the world. Every last one of us knows you are lying. So stop it. I talked about there's usually there's a lot of new people listening to the podcast and watching this, so I'm going to rehash something for people that's been listening to me for like 13 years or whatever. I'm the decade plus on one podcast and 7-8 years on the second podcast. I've talked about the acceptable lie theory, where there's certain times where it's okay to lie. So I'm going to rehash that a little bit for the new people. So bear with me. When I was a kid, my grandmother lived next door to a really nice lady. She was a really sweetheart of a lady, and they became really good friends. So much so, when a person becomes a really super duper close friend of your relative, they actually almost become like part of the family. Like if there's a birthday party, they're there. If there's a graduation or a wedding, they're there as well. They don't sit with the family, but they're like one row behind the family. And if somebody from the family doesn't show up and can take their seat, they take the seat. It was like that. That's how close she was. And we loved her. And she literally lived, the houses were touching. The porches were touching. So they were close as friends and physically close. So as kids, we would be able to go in and out of her house on a regular basis. And my grandmother would look out the window and she would just see us running to the house. I'm not going to say her name. Rest in peace, by the way. She's passed on, obviously. And so we go in there. And she thought of me kind of as another one of her grandchildren, right? And one time she made some ice cream, right? And I'm thinking, it's a hot day. I'm a little kid, right? I'm going to have some of this ice cream. Okay, this is going to be great. I put the ice cream down, got a nice bowl of ice cream. I'm about to tear this ice cream up, and I put some of it in my mouth, and it became very apparent. She didn't purchase this ice cream, she had made it, because ice cream that you buy from the supermarket is not nasty. In fact, you shouldn't even call it ice cream with a straight face. If you were going to describe this ice cream, you would describe it like this. What is that? Ice cream. So I had a big bowl of ice cream. And I'm eating it. And I'm, even as a young kid, I know that she's such a wonderful lady and I have so much love for her that I can't act like it sucks, which it did. And I had to eat the whole bowl of that crap. Right. And I'm eating it. And my grandmother comes up. Oh, you gave him some ice cream. What do you think of the ice cream? It's good. And she goes, oh, then have some more. It was like a bad sitcom. Like, oh, God. It's like a Rapper's Delight. Have you ever been over your friend's house to eat and the food was just no good? I mean, the macaroni is soggy, the peas all mushed, and the chicken tastes like wood. Sugar Hill Gang. Young people, look it up. That's how bad the ice cream was. And I had that. She gave me more ice cream. This is great. I'd have been better off if you literally threw up in this bowl. I'd rather eat that because that's how bad the ice cream was. How do you mess ice cream up? She should be arrested for that. I'm just kidding. Rest in peace. Right? So I eat more of that crap and I go out the house and then my grandma, it was really nice of her to give you ice cream. I said, Grandma, that ice cream was the worst thing I ever eaten. Huh? It was really bad. Oh, did you say anything to her? No, I don't want to hurt her feelings. Good, good, good. Please, could you make it so I don't have to eat that anymore? I don't want to say anything to her, you know? So I don't know what she said to her, but we were cool. I later found out she told her that I forgot what she said, but whatever it was, like I can't eat that type of ice cream because it upsets my stomach or some crap like that. So she basically got store ice cream that doesn't taste like garbage. So the next time I went over her house, I saw the ice cream in the bowl. I'm going, ah, ha, ha. And then I saw the container from a store with ice cream that tastes like ice cream. And I went from ah, ha, ha, to ah, ha, ha. That's what I'm talking about. Acceptable lie. Because she asked me how it was. It was great. It's okay to lie in that situation. It's acceptable to lie in that situation. Right? I saw a guy pretend he was married to someone to keep from getting beaten up. He was talking to a lady, he was about to flirt with her, and this gigantic dude came up and it was about to whoop him good. And I walked up and I'm like, oh, we both gonna have to fight this guy because I can't let my boy get his behind whooped. And he goes, yeah, ask my boy. I'm married. I'm not interested in you, girl. My boy is unmarried. And he goes, hey man, you look honest. Grab my friend by the shirt. Is your boy married or is he not married? I just want to know. Right? And while he's got my friend's shirt, he's already practicing eye gouges and groin squeezes, and neck twists. What are you doing with your other hand? I'm practicing eye gouges, groin squeezes, and neck twists. Because if you don't come up with the right answer, I'm going to gouge him in the eye, squeeze his thing down there real good, and then twist his neck. And my friend's looking at me like this. And inside, I can see him going, and the guy read me as an honest guy because I am an honest guy. But I don't want my friend Greg gouge in the eyes. I don't want his stuff squeezed and I don't want his neck twisted. And also, I know I can't let that happen, which means he's going to gouge me in the eye, squeeze my stuff, and twist my neck. So, hell no. I'm like, him cheat on his wife? Are you kidding? His wife would kill him. He wouldn't even think about doing that. Okay. All right. Sorry, man. He walked away. Boom, boom, boom. Whole damn house shaking. The dude was huge. And I'm like, let's get out of here now and never come back because we don't even come to the city in the first place. We just stopped to get something to eat. And we now have to add this place to the places not to go so we don't get stomped, eye gouged, groin squeezed, the neck twisted. Did I lie? Yes. Was it an acceptable lie? See how I have these eyeballs? See how my voice can go deep? See how my neck works? You're damn right it was acceptable. But unless it's something like that, try not to lie to people, okay? Because usually we know you're lying, so stop it. All right, everybody. I'll guess out.